Today we're checking out some more Star Trek The Next Generation Season 6.
The Enterprise has entered the Amagosa Diaspora, an unusually dense globular cluster.
Globular! Look at that shiny pillow. At least it's not a square pillow. I like his velvet jammies. His hair.
Sorry I'm late. Overslept again.
A little disheveled.
We've been testing a way to channel warp energy directly to the main deflector grid. It should enhance the long-range sensors.
Yeah, let's do that.
That sounds like that'll use up a lot of warp energy.
Well, we channel it through the EPS mains on Deck 4, near Cargo Bay 4.
Let's give it a try.
Make it so.
I would like to remind you about my poetry reading this afternoon.
I wouddn't miss it for the world.
Riker said he's been oversleeping again, so wonder what's going on with him.
How the oceans that cover the world were perturbed by the tides from the orbiting moon overhead. How relaxing this.
Oh my god.
In silence. Instead. That poem was written in anapestic
Oh god, they hate it.
odes to individuals who have had a profound effect upon their lives.
Oh, who is this ode to?
I have written my next poem in honor of my cat. And auditory senses contribute to your hunting skills. I find myself intrigued by your subvocal oscillation. A tail is quite essential for your acrobatic talents. You would not be so agile if you lacked its counterbalance.
I like it. I don't know.
The complex levels of behavior you display connote a fairly well-developed cognitive array. I nonetheless consider you a true
Friend.
and valued friend.
I like it. I dug it. I never thought we would see Data given a poetry reading. This show.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds.
To seek out new life and new civilizations.
How long has this been going on?
2-3 days. Do you have to hold that thing that close?
Snapped at her.
What do you recommend?
Drink this before going to bed.
What is it?
A recipe for a warm milk toddy.
Ooh, a warm McToddy.
And listen, if it still bothers you tomorrow, come and see me and I'll run further tests.
Thanks.
I wonder what it is. It's obviously something like space related.
Active scanner output has increased by 26%.
That the new LaForge sensor array is online and awaiting major scientific discoveries.
Oh, so good. Good news.
May I make a personal inquiry? It concerns my poetry reading.
Don't ask him if he liked it.
Was my poetry uninteresting?
Oh,
Well, it was very well constructed.
long.
A virtual tribute to form.
But did you like it?
Your hesitation suggests you were trying to protect my feelings. Since I have none, I would prefer you to be honest.
Oh.
An artist's growth depends upon accurate feedback.
Okay. He wants the constructive criticism.
And your haiku was clever, and your sonnet was
Clever?
clever.
Yeah.
But did it evoke an emotional response?
Only boredom. Is it possible for an android like him to be poetic and creative like that? I mean, he's been creative.
This explosion.
Where?
I'm attempting to localize it.
An EPS
Here's Cargo
explosion?
Bay 4.
We've got 3
Uh-oh.
people in there.
An explosion? Whenever I see randoms with them, I just think they might die.
Is there something wrong, sir?
Oh. Was there reading wrong?
Level 3 diagnostic on the internal sensor network and make sure that we haven't overlooked anything.
He needs a nap. When you're running on no sleep, everything sucks. Your brain is not working. All right. Hot milk toddy. So nice how they have the skylights right above them.
Good morning.
Morning, I just went to bed.
He's so mad.
Commander, it's 0700 hours.
Wow. It just seemed like a few seconds. Been there. But also something's happening to him.
She said, if they're not squirming, we won't eat them.
Is this the barber?
Lieutenant, haircut today? Trim your beard?
I would like my hair trimmed.
A trim.
Standard bowl cut.
I was just telling my colleague, Mr. Setti, how thick and luxuriant Klingon hair is.
It is quite thick.
I'd like to suggest that you start using a conditioning agent.
What? Is he threatened by the scissors?
I promise, not too much off the top.
What is happening?
We should probably keep the whole array offline until you can get a closer look.
Oh, excuse me.
I know the feeling.
Is everyone having trouble sleeping now?
I need to run a structural integrity scan. I want to make sure that none of the conduit was...
Whoa.
What is it?
The music, too.
This is the second time today that my visor's just cut out like that.
Oh, I don't like that. Usually we've seen something like a light on the ship going into people or something, but we haven't seen anything really except this like explosion that didn't happen. Maybe it's because they're in this nebula or wherever.
There's a slight bacterial infection around your neural inputs.
Bacterial?
It was probably interrupting the data stream.
An infection? What from?
It doesn't match any bacterial strains on record.
It's definitely because of where they are, I think.
Now come forward. Now you're gonna need to hold very still.
Well, if anyone can crack it, it's Bev. Maybe Data.
Did you not go to sickbay?
Data, I've been there for over an hour and a half.
That is not possible.
Okay, what the frig's going on with time here?
The time is 14:27 hours.
You are correct. 90 minutes, 17 seconds have passed.
Data's wrong.
You lose an hour all in this cargo bay.
Yeah, what's going on in here?
The Force Engineering, I want a diagnostic team to Cargo Bay 4 immediately.
I feel like they should quarantine this cargo bay.
You have to compensate for the gravimetric interference before.
What?
Is there something wrong, sir?
Oh, those strings. Where's the captain? Is he all right? Schisms. What does schisms mean anyway?
They are detecting a subspace particle emission originating from within this room.
From within this room, that's impossible.
So is there something hidden in this cargo bay that's doing all this?
Jordy.
It's music. That's not good. Commercial break.
The structure of the bulkhead has been altered on a subatomic level. The metal itself is in a state of quasi-molecular flux.
Cool.
Does it pose a danger to the ship?
Not unless it spreads. If it does, we can beam the bulkhead into space and erect a force field in its place.
In the meantime, proceed with the analysis.
Right, sir.
I feel like they should get out of there.
I felt like I was disconnected, like it was something that I had dreamed.
You're the third person who's come to me today with something like this.
Are they having trouble sleeping too?
I'm going to find out if anyone else on the ship has had these kind of experiences.
This is very mysterious.
I had a similar response to a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
Have you dreamt about scissors recently?
Their dreams are messing with them.
Cargo Bay, I had a weird feeling too. It was something about a smooth surface.
A smooth surface?
Yes. Cold.
It was
Smooth.
elevated. A platform.
Right.
Oh, they're solving it though.
Maybe there's a way we can all help ourselves to remember more.
Holodeck. I feel like we don't use the holodeck enough.
Computer, show me a table.
There are 5,047 classifications of tables on file.
A smooth, elevated, cold table.
Can you be more specific about the table? You mentioned it was smooth and cold. Can you remember what shape it was?
Table shaped.
Now, the table was smaller, and it was inclined. Decrease the table's surface area by 20% and incline the top 15 degrees.
Is it a console?
More metallic.
Computer, make this a metal table.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was dark.
Yes, it was dark. You couldn't see beyond the table.
Computer, lower the surrounding light level.
This is so weird.
Estimated distance of light source.
I don't know. It
7
was
feet.
at least 2 or 3 meters above. Brighter.
Well, were they abducted?
But it wasn't like this. There was something else here.
This
A restraint of some kind?
what it feels like to try and recall a dream.
It was across my chest. It was right here.
It was holding you down?
Yes, it was part of the table. It was here. It was right here.
They were strapped to a metal table and held down? Abducted!
Double jointed, total length 1 meter, connected to the head of the table.
They went to the dentist.
Now make one blade longer. Curved inward.
Wow. This is kind of terrifying. I have goosebumps.
Were there any smells in the room? Were there any sounds?
Yes. Yes, there was a sound.
My own scream.
More of them.
I've been in this room before.
This is so crazy.
We've all been here before.
Commercial break. This is pretty terrifying. I think they were abducted.
I have detected minute tetrian particle traces in their subdermal tissues.
Tetriomes.
Have they been experimented on?
I have completed my self-diagnostic and have confirmed that I was not aboard the Enterprise for 90 minutes, 17 seconds.
Abducted!
On my internal servo fluid system, between the period of 12:54 to 14:26 hours, that signature is missing.
It's taking them off the ship, doing experiments on them, erasing their memory, and putting them back.
There are 2 crew members unaccounted for.
When did they leave?
They have not been present since 23:32 hours.
What the frig?
Method of departure unknown.
Pick a bridge.
Bridge here, Captain.
Get us the F out of here.
My God.
What is it?
It looks as though your arm has been severed and then reattached.
Frig off.
The skeletal structure in your radius and ulna is offset by 0.02 microns. Your arm has been amputated.
This is horrifying. What if this really happens to people? Every time we have a crappy night's sleep, this is what's actually happened to us. Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Data, the Tetrion emissions have intensified. They seem to be focusing in this direction. Coalescing here.
They should get out of this cargo bay.
Maybe they caught somebody's attention.
At the rate the rupture is expanding, it will soon be in danger of hull breach.
Maybe we should try surrounding with the subspace containment field.
Yeah, do that, do that. Get out of there.
Sensors indicate Lieutenant Hagler has returned to the Enterprise in his quarters, Deck 9, Section 17.
Get him. Let's hear it. I bet he's didn't have a very good sleep or doesn't remember.
Computer, emergency entry. Chief Medical Officer Beverly Crusher.
Oh, crap.
Get me a plasma infusion unit to Deck 9, Section 19.
His blood is turning into a liquid polymer.
What?
Set up a containment field in Cargo Bay 4, but the rupture just keeps expanding. I'd say we've got another 5 to 6 hours before it breaches the hull.
What the frig?
The emissions are coming from a tertiary subspace domain, but subspace has an infinite number of domains. It's like a huge honeycomb with an infinite number of cells.
Oh, frig.
Track the Tetrion emissions to their universe.
Tetrion particles have a random momentum. Our sensors cannot track them, sir.
This seems pretty hopeless.
They've taken me for the last few nights, and if I'm right, the same thing will happen tonight.
Well, if you had a homing device, we could track it to your location in subspace.
They're taking their physical bodies.
A way that we could give you an advantage, keeping you conscious after they've taken you. Can you develop some counter agent to the neurosedative that they have been giving the crew?
Keep him conscious the whole time? That's also terrifying.
I could give you a neurostimulant, but the dosage would have to be rather high to counteract the effects.
It's gonna be wired. Hopefully it's not dangerous to be awake.
We've modified a sensor relay emitter to transmit a subspace beacon. When this indicator lights up, it means that we've locked on to your location.
Understood.
This seems risky. Imagine just going to sleep, well, pretending to go to sleep, just waiting to be taken. What? Just sucks him in. Go with him, go with him. Ah, why did I go with him? Who are they? Oh, actually, the holodeck table was pretty close to that. Yeah, what if they just take this stuff off of him? The clicking was right. Those blades. Okay, still awake.
I could try to augment the field with auxiliary power, but it won't be much.
Make it so.
Aye, sir.
To make it so's. Good episode. I can't believe they amputated his arm and then put it back on. What if they try to do that now? Well, they can't tell that he's awake.
Data, how much time?
At the present rate, containment failure will occur in approximately 9 minutes.
Oh, so freaky. Who are you? Show yourselves.
Initiating pulse now.
What about Riker? Just run and jump through that hole.
The graviton pulse is having an effect. Tetrion emissions have decreased by 19%.
I feel like you should get out of there.
Hull breach is imminent.
They programmed the emitters for full spectrum pulse compression. We want to channel all of the graviton energy into a single burst.
This is going to be cutting it close. Ah, their face! He's got to grab her and then get out of there. Go, 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 go! Go, go! Oh, phased him!
Emitters recharging.
Through the hole! Yes! Oh, her arm! If he hadn't gone through, would he have just been stuck there forever? Little balls of light invading the ship. Never good.
And there have been no further indications of alien intrusions. All Enterprise crew members are safe and accounted for. But we are still left with some unanswered questions.
Like, what happened to them?
Tricorder readings indicate they created a small pocket of our universe in their laboratory to keep those they abducted alive.
Like putting a fish in a bucket of water.
He still looks pretty tired.
We were unable to track it once it left the cargo bay.
Maybe it was a probe of some kind.
Possibly they were simply curious. Explorers like ourselves.
They were doing experiments.
Ensign Rager and I were lucky to have escaped. Lieutenant Hagler's dead. Whoever it was sent that thing was more than simply curious.
Do we have new bad guys in the mix here? The end. The end. That was a freaky episode. Okay, that was season 6, episode 5, and that's actually one of the scariest episodes I've seen, I think. For me, anyway, just the idea of being abducted and having like experiments on you, things amputated and put back without even your knowledge of it is just absolutely terrifying. It's terrifying. It really does make me kind of wish that this wasn't so serialized and we could see like some of the effects that this has had. Like, that's traumatizing for all of them that were abducted, and specifically we know that Riker had his arm taken off and put back on. That's awful. That's this episode is so creepy. I like this episode too because usually when there's something weird going on the ship, it's like they're all experiencing the same kind of symptoms, but this one was so much more mysterious because it was like Riker was like losing sleep, Data was losing time, Worf was like afraid of a pair of scissors. Like, it didn't make any sense. All the symptoms and weird stuff was all different but somehow related. The whole scene in the holodeck just got like, it just amped up the dread more and more of like, what is this? A table and like an arm and a restraint, and like you just suddenly realize like they've obviously been abducted and experimented on, and that's terrifying. This is a really scary episode. Yeah, really freaky. I feel like I had goosebumps the whole time. The idea of just being taken without your knowledge, even just taken and then returned without your knowledge is freaky enough, but like they're restraining them and doing things, taking off pieces of their body and putting it back on, not exactly perfectly aligned anymore. That is so crazy. I'm very curious what exactly they did to each of them. Oof. Anyways, blech. Yeah, this one like made my stomach turn. It was so freaky. One of the freakiest ones we've seen so far for me. Curious to know what you guys think of this one, but yeah, this one just, I liked it a lot. It was so mysterious. Just so freaky. Just so freaky. That's all I could, I'm just freaked out by that episode. Oh. I think it's a little unexpected too, because like we here on Earth, you know, there's people who say they've been taken and experimented on. That's like a thing. But putting it on Star Trek is different because you'd think that they would even be maybe more ready for that, but they were not ready. They were not ready. They had no idea what was going on, just as we would here. Ugh. Yes, this one is so freaky. I really liked it though. I like this one. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm excited to check out the next episode. It's called True Q. We haven't seen Q in a while. I'm excited. You just never know if it's gonna be like a goofy episode, like silly and fun, or if it like something crazy is gonna happen and, you know, maybe even dangerous. I don't know. You never know with Q. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I had a great time. I hope you had a great time too. And I will see you next time. Bye guys.